Hey guys, what's going on? Blanco Loco here. So we're just gonna go over a layout of everything. So as you can see, let me turn on my light. As you can see, we have most of this cleared out. So we came to a recent discovery. This is not the whole interior harness. This is like engine to interior. Like this is for the fuse panel right here that plugs on the inside. This will plug into the stock one that's in there, but we figured out that there's obviously some of these connectors may fit, but they're pinned differently, which is fine. But it confirms my theory that if anyone in the future was to do a Type R swap in this, as long the cheaper route is to use the whole interior harness for this. So everything is plug and play, everything will work. This is all routed the same. The biggest difference is right here. If you look, there's connectors that go down to the back speakers. The issue is trying to figure out how to wire that so the rear speakers are they have a fuse and they're protected and there's no power surge going to them, and there's regulated voltage going to it as well. We're figuring that out. But if you're going to do the Type R swap, you can in fact use the OEM harness from engine to interior and it will work, obviously. But I mean, as far as all this goes, like in order to get the dash out, it's not as big as a problem as you think it is. Obviously over here, there's a long trim piece that you're going to have to pop out to get access to some of these bolts over here. Over here, there's some more trim pieces, and the steering wheel has to come out. They say you can't reuse the steering wheel bolt, but here, I'll show you guys. It has blue Loctite on it, so whenever you try to crack it, it will be a hard time to crack, but I think you can reuse it. As you see, like, none of the threads are fucked up on it from when we pulled it, so I'm pretty sure I've reused steering wheel bolts before, so I think it's safe to use. If you didn't know, it is a 10 mil hex. Why? I don't fucking know. Honda's really stupid for that, and I'm going to let you guys know too. These are torque bolts down here. And as you can see, we ran into a problem where that one is rusted as fuck. It's seized in there and it's rounded. It's like not even hex anymore or Torx anymore. So, and then we compared motor mounts to the engine. And we compared like engine mounts. As you can see, this is Type R. This is OEM. Honestly, the design and the layout is exactly the same. I just think these bushings have a greater stiffness to them than these ones do. But all the mounts are exactly the same. And I think the reason why you have to use them for the Type R mounts is because these bushings are stiffer. So if you're doing the motor swap, the bushings are necessary. The mounts are necessary, my bad. And in terms of axles too, well, you obviously know the spindle layout will be different, but you have to use axles as well. As far as the ABS module goes, we don't know if you can use the GOOOO ABS module yet. We're still figuring that out. There's a chance we might not have to. Even the harness connector is the same for the ABS module from Type R to this. We have to figure that out. I'm pretty sure the brake booster is the same too, but I'm just going to swap in the Type R one anyways for the sake of it just being a Type R coupe. The authenticity of it. But for the most part, like, doing this swap is pretty straightforward. Like, if you use the full wiring harness, you can save a lot of money doing it this way. I mean, nothing about this is cheap. Nothing about this is inexpensive. To give you an idea, just on the front end alone, I've probably spent about $6,000 just on the panels. Just on the panels, like the fenders, the bumper, all that. And my bumper I got for a stupid price, right? Honestly, tack another like $600 on top of that price. So, and then, you know, it's pretty straightforward from there. So as long as you use full wiring harness, you use Type R motor, obviously axles, fucking motor mounts, like, this swap is definitely doable, 1,000%. So that's just a little update on what we got going on right now. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get the interior portion of the harness and then we can go there from there. But like as it stands right now, like we're kind of at a standstill. So anyways, until I see you guys next time, I'll keep you all up to date. Appreciate you. Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to show you guys something. So we just figured out that the dash bar here, if you're doing this swap, it's not imperative, but it will make your life a lot easier. It's another part you're gonna have to buy. But the Type R dash bar is the exact same as the coupe. So technically speaking, all you have to do, you don't even have to disconnect all of this like we did. Like we fucked up. We didn't need to disconnect any of this. You just got to disconnect the pins or the connectors from here and on that side, and the whole bar will come out. Underneath the cowl up here, there's bolts from the outside that secure these brackets from the dash bar coming out. So when you loosen those bolts, you lift up and pull out. But the Type R bar, this dash bar will fit. So that means if you can get the Type R dash bar with the harness already attached to it, you have the full wiring harness, everything is just plug and play. I will update you guys on the connectors because in the Type R, some of the rear doors have modules in them and shit like that, which I don't think we're going to be using at all. The problem is sometimes with these cars is other modules or other circuits like door speakers or window, like, you know, something for the radio could be running through the harness. So it's definitely plug and play, but I will list you guys with updates to see like how extensive you got to go with the Type R wiring harness.
Which means we didn't have to take off any of these grounds or nothing.
Yeah, we didn't even have to. Well, no, we have to. Oh no, we didn't have to take off these grounds. So all these grounds, all these connectors you guys see, leave them.
The only thing that has to come off from here is whatever connects this harness to the body of the car. All of this comes out one time with the whole bar.
Exactly. So, and right now we're working on. You have to disconnect the steering knuckle, so the dash bar can come out too. But that's pretty straightforward. And the rest is just basically plug and play. So, I mean, if we're talking what I've paid so far, so I did front and rear subframe. They're gonna fit everything that comes with the subframes for the suspension. The harness for interior and stuff. So I'm sitting at about, I want to say close to 10,000 so far, just in these parts, not even including my front bumper and all the pieces. Like, you don't need to get the carbon fucking air ducts. You don't need to get the carbon grill. You don't need to do any of that shit. Like, you can just buy OEM bumper, and for the most part, people will not separate the bumper from the fender. So you're gonna, like Canadian prices, you're gonna be paying about $4,500 to $5,000 for the whole front end. Which, if you're doing the swap anyways, you're going to need the whole front end regardless, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, there's a lot of similarities, but you got to remember, too, that the Type R, yes, this is a 2-liter NA and the Type R is a 2-liter turbo, but the turbo sits on the front of the motor. So I'm pretty sure the housing for the radiator sits a little differently, so it can have room for the turbo. I could be wrong. I'd have to really piece it together. But in my opinion, I think it would make more sense if you're going to go ahead and do an extensive swap like this. Yes, it's plug and play, but there's certain aspects of the Type R that you're going to need for your coupe, like the front end. Maybe not the bash bar, because my bash bar, and mine is a 2017, fit the Type R bumper. I didn't have to cut it at all. So you can use your bash bar, but the housing for the radiator and stuff like that, I would definitely 100% recommend that you switch that as well. So the housing for the radiator, obviously, the master, or the booster, sorry, not the master, the booster, obviously, fuse panel, all that shit, and like, I compared them side by side, and it's very, 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 very identical. Like, if you don't pay close attention, you wouldn't be able to really tell the difference, but you definitely need the whole fuse panel and stuff like that, too. I'm doing a washer fluid delete because obviously, like, this is fucking useless, and I'm going to tell you why. Because on the Type R, they have these ducts right here to cool the braking system, which I'm also going to be using the Type R calipers as well. Obviously, I have the whole hub assembly and stuff like that, but the washer fluid on the coupes block this duct, and this is very essential for cooling your brakes better. And as you can see, like, bro, this shit's fucking useless, right? And on this side, you can clearly see that this is going to point right to where those calipers are. So it is pretty essential if you're going to do this swap that you also use the wheel liners as well, because obviously, like, you're going to be pushing more power, you're going to be wanting more cooling. This is essential. At least in my head, the science makes sense behind it. And if you're also going to be doing this swap, use the Type R steering rack. I think, like, for me, the suspension, fuck the suspension. I don't care for adaptive suspension. It's not my thing. I like to tune my suspension myself. I like to put in track time and dial it in the way that I like it. I don't want a computer doing it for me, but it's all personal preference. If you want to use the adaptive suspension, you can, because you're using the full wiring harness and it makes sense. So, you know what I mean? It's just all about what you want and what you want to do with your coupe. But as far as this goes, it's like, honestly, this is probably one of the more easier swaps to do. It's not going to be cheap. So I'll have more info for you guys soon, and I'll keep you guys up to date. And I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me, who's been helping me, who's been shouting my shit out, resharing my shit. Like, I'm forever grateful for you guys, you know? And like, a lot of this wouldn't be possible without my girl too, to motivate me, to push me, to be like, hey, you know, wake up. Like, we got to go do this. Like, there's days where I wake up and I don't even want to touch this shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes you're going to get like that. But you got to push through it. And I'm grateful for every single one of you guys. You know what I mean? So hopefully I'll have a bigger update for you guys soon. We're just waiting on my buddy to get another wrecked Type R so we can put the motor in the trans in. And have the wiring harness to go with it. The plan is to just pull the motor with everything on it, have all the harness connected, and just literally plug and play it. That's it. And I got that Acuity short shifter too, so I'm going to be putting that in very, very, very soon, the one that my girl got me for Christmas. So I'll keep you guys up to date with that. Anyways, guys, talk to y'all later.